She used to be an actress.
She ever do anything I've seen?
I think her biggest deal was she starred in a pilot.
What's a pilot?
Well, you know the shows on TV, right?
I don't watch TV.
Yes, but you are aware that there's an invention called television, and on that invention they show shows.
Yeah.
Well, the way they pick the shows on TV is they make one show, and that show's called a pilot. And then they show that one show to the people who pick shows, and on the strength of that one show, they decide if they want to make more shows. Some get accepted and become TV programs. Some don't, become nothing. She started one of the ones that became nothing. Yes. Welcome to Couch Pilots, all of my friends. It's the show that dares to fly into the unknown territory of awful television pilots of the past. My name is Jason, and with me is my little devil, it's Captain Filler Residue. How are you?
I am the devil, aren't I? In a way.
What do you...
Everybody's got a little devil in them, I would think, right?
I think so. It's the classic devil on one shoulder, angel on the other. I think there's probably a lot of truth to that.
Right.
Why do you think you're the devil?
Oh, I don't know. I just think I'm evil in some way. Like, I don't kill cats or anything.
Okay. That's a pretty good hallmark of being evil.
Well, yeah. Animal death.
We're both.
Oh, wait. I got the devil out of me. I'm okay. Cup season, baby. Sorry about that. Hey, do you notice anything different about my voice?
I was going to comment at the top of the show. Your voice sounds exactly the same. So no,
no, that's not true.
Did you put extra teeth in?
No. I took more out.
Took more out.
No, no. I am back to having my baby in front of me to speak into.
Oh, your old microphone.
Yeah,
that's right.
My sultry sounding voice is back.
Did the Karaoke Big E crew break that?
I think it was just worn over time, and they were just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I was gonna say you're in a good mood for not blaming them.
And actually, this is rigged up. This is Jerry rigged. Mm-hmm. A guy named Jerry came over and rigged it up.
How is Jerry?
He's having trouble with the lupus, but other than that, he's doing good. No, I took a brand new one that was in a brand new shock mount that my microphone didn't fit in, and I took a part off my other one that was broken, and I combined them into one mega microphone.
Why did you wait so long to do that?
I didn't think I could do it. I didn't know how to do it.
Look at you.
I became determined one day that I was no longer going to use that shitty-ass microphone.
Do you feel accomplished? Do you look at that and think, my God, I did that. This was me. I figured it out. I solved the problem.
Yeah.
And I think that's the angel on your shoulder saying, hey, boy, you can do it.
You did a good job.
Boy, you did it. You did it. I think I knew you could do it. I told you you did it.
And then the devil side of me goes, hey, fuckface, you just got lucky.
Hey, you gonna stop at 13 beers, pussy?
Just a little behind the curtains. Since I've been home at 2:30, I've only had one.
Boy, either something's going really right or really wrong. Why don't you tell us what that is all about?
I'm just gonna try to record some episodes that I remember so I can write show notes.
So what's the real problem there? That you don't want to go back and listen, or to the shows?
I don't have time to go back and listen to them and then take notes.
So that's all. It's not a stroke of trying to like better your health. It's not trying to enjoy experiences and remember them as they happen. It's simply because you do not have time to go back later and listen to them.
Correct.
Okay, that's fine. You know what? Whatever gets you there. There are side positive things that are happening as a result of you just not want to go back, like your health, like I mentioned.
Sure.
You're not doing it for health, but it is something that is coming out of it.
Well, one thing that happens a lot of times is on our Facebook page or on Twitter, somebody will make a comment about an episode, and I'll be like, I don't know what that's about.
You're probably like, there's like 2 or 3 episodes I wasn't a part of. They have to be talking about one of those.
Right.
In the 210 that we've recorded, they must be referencing those because I remember everything else.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
How are you been?
I'm all right. I went to take my daughter home the other day in the car, and we looked in the back seat. She says, hey, what is that? And I said, I'm driving. I can't look back there. And she reaches back, she grabs this bag. And it's a bag that I keep back there. It's full of dog treats because my dumb girlfriend's got this dog.
Sure.
And every time I go to the house, I feed the dog, and I try to pretend that I like the dog so my girlfriend thinks that I'm a good person.
Right.
And so she's
That's a charade that's gonna bite you in the ass later on. Get it?
Because dogs only and always bite you in the ass.
Hey, the only times I've ever been bit by a dog has been on the balls or the ass.
Oh, the balls?
Well, it's because I jumped before it bit me.
Jeez, good Lord. Boy, he'll never jump again. Just like George Michael will never dance again. Mainly because he's dead.
So you had this bag.
And she picked up the bag, and it was there was a hole in the bag. I was like, there wasn't always a hole in the bag. What's going on there? It looked like it had been chewed through. And I looked back where the bag was laying before she had picked it up, and there was fragments, plastic fragments. And I was like, oh, so there's a mouse in my car.
Oh, shit.
I was like, how the fuck does that happen?
You open up the car. Well, it can get through the engine. You know,
it
can go through little itty bitty tiny little holes.
I realize that, but there aren't little tiny holes.
Sure, there are.
So,
like in the trunk.
So anything from outside that's small enough can get into the car.
Oh, for sure.
See, I didn't know that. I keep things pretty clean. I think.
No, you're a clean guy.
And so I'm like, well, this is very disappointing.
If people have heard your stand up, you're a pretty clean guy.
Yeah, I'm not very blue collar. I'm the Brian Regan of podcasts. So we actually ended up going to my girlfriend's house to pick her up, and then we're going to drop my daughter off. That, but when I was at my girlfriend's house, we opened up the back door, and we're like, and my daughter had left this Mexican candy back there that was like peanut candy.
Okay.
And so that had all been chewed through. And I was like, well, God damn it, kid, you brought the mouse right.
As always, it's the kid.
It's like we're trying to get away from the shark, but you've been chumming the waters the whole time, you know. And so so I see that, and then we put a trap in my car
with peanut butter.
Absolutely,
that's your go-to move.
And I got and we next day I look in the car, and I was going to vacuum out the shit that was left on the seat,
right.
The literal shit, and also the plastic. And I'm vacuuming it, and then I see a corpse on the floor, so the trap had worked.
Nice.
And that very same day, I had bought 4 or 8 traps. I put down 4 of them. The next morning, I come out, 3 of the 4 traps had
in your car.
Off. No, in my garage.
Oh,
I apologize.
Okay. Jeez.
Thank you for clarifying that. So I was like, well, they probably got in while the car was in stasis inside the garage. So the garage could be a hot spot for mice.
Sure, it's like the strip club of mice places to hang out.
It's kind of like the Brian Regan of garages, if I had to say. So we're in the garage, and my shit has been chewed up in my garage before too, but I never did anything about it. So I put down these 4 traps, all with just a little bit of peanut butter right on the little mechanism.
Just a little bit. You don't want to put too much because they can reach it, eat it, and not set the trap off. You taught me that.
That's exactly
when we had a baby mole in our plane
live on the show. It was an attack. I took that as an attack.
Oh yeah, don't come into my studio.
3 had been triggered, and 2 of which had dead mice in them, and the third one that was triggered is just gone, which is very worrisome to me.
You're saying the trap is gone?
It's gone. Now my garage isn't like just a bunch of shit piled on. I can pull my car in there. I can get out easily, but I do have a lot of stuff, tools and what have you in the garage. So I'm trying to look around. Did something get caught in this trap, and did it limp away and die under something? I'm looking around. I can't find it.
Could have been a drop bear.
That's Australian.
Well, yeah, but
that's like a weaponized koala, right?
Right, but it could be one. I mean, you can't say no. There's no way.
But that's I am telling you that I am terrified that something was in my garage,
like a puma.
It's worse. A drop bear is a foreign entity that seems scary, but a puma could be here.
Right, mountain lion, billy goat.
What does this mean? What do I do with this information?
Well,
where did this thing go? What was it?
I think what you're gonna find is it was a mouse that
like I got his tail.
He got his tail. He took off, and it's that trap's just underneath something. He just happened to slide into a spot that was enough for that trap to go underneath. You'll find it.
Do you think it's one of those things where he like gnawed his tail off and then ran free?
That could have been.
Now, I don't know much. I'm not a biochemist.
I don't know much. I'm not a biochemist.
Let me be.
All I need to know is where that fucking trap went.
Oh, yeah. My question, I guess, is if a rat or a mouse got its tail stuck in the trap, gnawed it off for freedom, can the tail regenerate into an entire new mouse?
I would say no. Are you
sure about that?
I am positive.
And what would happen if you're wrong?
What would happen if I was wrong? Have I ever been wrong?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head.
Just check back with us and let us know how it goes if you ever find it.
I will. And you have any updates? I know we've had kind of a pending situation happen recently.
Well, yeah, we had the pending situation with our court battle with the NAACP and DSJ. They're representing
Did
him.
we ever find out what NAACP is? Something colored people. The CP stands for colored people, which seems outdated to me.
Oh, I thought it was...
Couch pilots? NAA couch pilots?
I thought it was like the Continental Bayou or something. The National Continental Bayou people. I don't have any A's in there.
Yeah.
No, anyway, we were supposed to go to court. We haven't talked about it. We went to court in November and we got a continuance. We're looking for legal representation that's going to do the trick. Mm-hmm. You know, we're like looking at super like famous high end lawyers. We're looking at some, you know, some of those hardcore like New Orleans, like you know.
But we want them to do it pro bono because we have all of our money that we made from like the couch cons and what have you, and the Patreon supporters. All that shit is tied up in capital.
Right. Yeah.
So we don't have a lot of liquid funds to be putting into our legal representation, even though we know that we're in the right.
We've got a quart of paint, and that's the only liquid we have.
Mm-hmm. What are we doing with that paint? We're not going to waste it, are we?
Huh?
What are we going to do with that paint?
No, I was gonna paint like, you know how as we're looking at the horizon, sometimes
love the horizon.
Sometimes the sun gets in our eyes.
Yeah.
I was just gonna paint like a big line in front of where that usually is.
On the front of the plane, on the windshield.
On the windshield.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's that old paint too, that lead paint.
Oh yeah.
Nothing's getting through that.
No, nothing's gonna penetrate it.
Are you gonna do outside or inside paint?
Because of the lead, we probably should do the outside, but it might get chipped from rocks.
Yeah, we would be stupid to paint the inside of the plane's windows.
Yeah, that'd be dumb.
Let's do it from the outside. That makes the most sense to me.
And also recently, I had to go and get my pilot's license renewed.
Yeah, I feel like we're doing that every 6 months.
At the DPV.
Yeah, the double penetration V, right?
No, it's the Department of Pilots Vehicles.
I'm sorry, I've been spending a lot of time on xnxx.com.
Are you? How's it going?
Not bad.
Not bad.
You ever look up 70s porn?
No. I can't do perms and I can't do bushy vaginas.
I have very limited experience with 70s porn, but a lot of real close-ups. Like the camera had a great lens to zoom in on, or it was all up in someone's business.
Right. Yeah, they back then they didn't have HD, so they're like, we got to get as close as possible, so we can see every shaved hair bump, and
we want to see every vein. Yeah.
Main vein.
But that's now people say that like drain the main vein. They're talking about the penis,
the urethra.
Like yeah, but that's not the main vein, is it?
We
have other veins that are more main than that, right?
Well, I think we think with that vein, in that vein.
So the way to determine whether or not a vein is the main vein, it has to be how much thought is associated with it?
Yes.
Then it's the main vein.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, hands down.
What do you base all your decisions off of?
Whatever my dick says.
Right.
Oh, my God, it's got me in trouble.
How's that worked out for you so far?
Not great. You know what? I need my main vein to be my main brain.
Hey, there you go. So I went and I failed the vision test. And that's not good if you're a pilot.
You're right. Well, we might have to rethink this stripe across the windshield then.
Well, I took care of it. I went and got bifocals.
Is there a
It's actually bifocals. It's spelled bifocals, but I say bifocals. There's no G in it. It's bifocals.
Why do you? If you know that, then why do you say it?
Well, the only reason I know it is because I had to look it up on the internet.
But it's too late. It's already cemented in how you say it?
Yeah, it's like Prinzel.
I was just going to say, at one time, did you think, like, if someone said, a spelling test time, spell the word pretzel, you're like, I'll just put this N right here?
But that's the way I have always heard it, though. It's like South Beloit.
Okay, yeah. Obviously, there's no N. It's an N problem for you. And I don't mean black people. I'm not saying
No. I love black people.
I would never call a black person an N, so please do not put that on me. I'm just saying the letter N in the American alphabet, you are putting it into words that they don't go there.
Right.
What are you writing down?
I'm writing down show notes so I don't forget.
You should have a drink or two.
Huh?
You should have a couple drinks.
I'm trying to lay low. I was told I was going to have sex tonight, so I'm trying to be cool.
Are you at the point where sex is scheduled?
No, this is what usually happens is I'm told, hey, you might get lucky tonight. And then tonight comes and not even a mention or whisper about it.
So like
I've had sex 3 times in 3 months.
You're
as of today.
Right. You're the stewardess Molly, your wife.
Right. Happy birthday, by the way. It's coming up.
Thank you very much.
No, to stewardess Molly.
Oh, and happy birthday to her as well.
After I told the whole world that she's not giving it up, I'm like, hey, happy birthday, baby.
That'll make up for it. So she dictates when it's going to happen.
Oh, sure. Doesn't every woman?
Well, this is what I'll say to you. Don't some women like to be taken?
But here's my thing is,
that's been my experience. Anyway.
Sure, but you can only that's possible. But when
it's possible.
when you go to take them and they don't want it, then you feel rejected. And then you take them because women you go to take them because women want to be taken again and you get rejected. Then you start to get what do you call it, a complex.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay, this is my rule about taking women, okay? I'll see if you like this. It's the same as at the end of the night, say you're having a dinner with your wife, and her parents are there, okay? They're both still alive, right?
Yes.
Oh, thank God. So you go...
As of this recording.
Well, clock's ticking on those guys, I know.
Okay.
But say you're at a dinner. You had a lovely dinner with the two of them. What's a place you like? Probably like a steakhouse or something.
Sure, we'll just say Red Lobster. I don't like it, but everybody else in the whole world likes it.
Big shout out to my main man Jerry, the general manager of the Red Lobster local in Peoria. Jerry Evans, I believe is his name. So this is what you do. You're at the table. We're winding down here. The waiter puts the check down, and you go and you reach for the check and you grab it. And then the father-in-law, he grabs. He says, "I'll take care of it." Okay.
No. He will wait.
You're denying my premise?
No. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about real life.
No, I'm not talking about real life. I'm saying this is how I'm going to relate what we're doing with taking women.
Oh, okay.
So you reach out and you put your hand on the check, and then he's a little further away, but he brings his hand out and he says, "I'll get it." Okay. So he's already saying no to you. He's saying no to you once.
Correct.
So you're going, and then you say, "Oh, please." I don't know what his name is. It's probably
Jim.
What is it?
Jim.
Ridiculous name. Jim.
James.
Spell that. I've never heard. What is it?
James.
Okay, man. Whatever. That's ridiculous. But anyway, so James, whatever. He's grabbing the check, and then you go again. And you say, "No, please, James, let me do it." And then to me, if he says, "No, I got it," you're done. Some people really like to go back and forth forever. I don't do it. I say one, no, please. Or if someone's trying to give me money, I say no one time. And if they continue to try to do it,
you just take it.
I'll just take it. Because I don't want to have that argument. I've done my bit of business by saying no at least once. Same thing with a lady. You go and you start, it's not just a stranger. It's your girlfriend or whatever, or a wife. And
so you put your hand on her.
Sure. Maybe all up on that hip, right? Just like Freak Nasty once did.
Sure.
And you say, "Hey, I'm going to start kissing the neck a little bit." And if she's like, "Hey, get off me," you come back one more time. You try it again. And if you get the second no, then
you punch her.
Then you punch her right in the back of the fucking head. Right in her main vein. That'll knock her out.
Right. You know what? I'm going to see how that goes.
Okay.
Can I use it without any kind of like copyright issues? Or?
No, I don't own that. I don't know that anyone can own that. I'll look into it.
Okay.
But until then, you can use it.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate it.
That's my rule anyway. But there's no G in focal for sure. Is there a unifocal? Like just regular glasses, right?
I would say yes.
So, but we
don't. It's a bi means that they're multiplying the focal point, right?
I don't know. I wish my girlfriend was here. Actually, she's worked in eyeball stuff forever. She could tell you. She knows a lot about that shit.
We call her?
No, that's not going to happen. She's actually sick as of this recording. Thank God.
How is that space dust? Be careful.
I don't like it when you have a can or a bottle. Okay, here it is. Here, one brand, I think it's like Lagunitas. They don't put the alcohol content. Some bottles don't put that on there. Most do. I hate when they don't. This is an 8.2.
Mm-hmm.
I have not had a lot of dinner.
Oh, great. So this is going to be weird for listeners. I'm going to be sober and you're going to be drunk.
Well, I don't do the show notes.
That's true. That's true. So you're good. I figure you've done enough already. You've done enough work by now.
Yeah, this is
just getting here is work.
the actual recording of the show is me coasting. Everything else is the work that I put in. Do you feel like an old man now that you have bifocals?
I was worried about it. I had a little bit of a midlife crisis kind of thing going on.
You had it. Your midlife crisis is over now.
Well, it was like just like a blip. It wasn't the full. It's just a blurb. Like, here it comes. Oop.
Oh, kind of like not an aftermath, but
Pre-math.
yeah, after mash.
Yeah. Well, anyway, but once I put them on, I realized that they're not the degree of bifocaledness is not as severe as it was sounded to be. Like, I bowled with them for the first time Sunday, and I bowled a 640. So
640. So what does that turn out to be? Like 213 a piece?
yeah, it was a 233, a 238, and a 167. I got drunk. My wife missed a 5-pin, and I had to buy shots. And then somebody else on the other team missed a 5-pin and bought shots.
You still enjoying it?
Bowling?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'd rather be bowling than doing this. But that's not why we're here. We're not here to talk about bowling. We're not talking
Or what
about
we'd rather be doing.
rather be doing main veins.
Lord, those are things
That's not what this show is about.
It could be, though.
It
We've been
could
talking
be.
about changing formats.
Yeah. I thought you said floor mats.
Time to play the game.
Did he love heroin? Was he a heroin guy? Or no, he was like a meth guy.
The guy from Motorhead?
Yeah, I think it was, I drink a handle or whatever of Jack Daniels every day,
Yeah.
and then I also love methamphetamine.
I don't know. I don't know about his drug habits. I try not to ask people about their drug habits.
It's probably a smart move,
Yeah.
honestly.
Well, you know.
Well, the court case with DSJ, I guess that's pending. Do we have a date on that?
It's going to be in mid-January because of the holidays and stuff.
The holiday season.
Yeah.
So what they do?
Whoops.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captains have turned on the fasten seatbelt sign.
See, I don't even ask about fan feedback anymore. I just assume you'll bring it to
Well,
me.
I had it.
Did you really?
Yeah. We'll save it for the next episode. There's 3s or 4s of them.
Save it for me. You don't want to call. You don't want to do any more calls, right?
I don't think this is the episode to do that because there's a lot to talk about.
You're right.
It's a very long pilot. If it was next week's pilot, then I would say, yeah, go ahead and call somebody.
This is what I was thinking about calling. A few weeks ago, we attempted to call the church that I grew up in. That when we had Hoover Boss on the show, who I met from going to church,
and he was not happy about making a phone call.
Well, he's a guy. He speaks very well. And he's very quick-witted. He's a smart guy. But when it comes to making the phone calls, that motherfucker just doesn't get it. All right?
Okay.
Is there anything you want to add to that?
No.
I didn't think so. This is what I have to say. There's so many churches locally. Is there anything satanic locally that we should call?
Oh.
I feel like there is.
That would be like a good Christmas, the Church of Satan. Man, that was a really good idea.
And I'm not trying to I'm not shitting on anyone. If that's what they believe, that's fine. But
you can believe.
I just want to ask them if they're aware of this pilot, though. You weren't aware of this before, right?
No, I was never aware of this pilot. And I wish I would have been. I would have a lot to entertainment in my life. But I digress. There used to be. You remember Stone Church? Stone Church was way out. And it was old church, and it had like a red light on it. And
I know. I don't know where it is, but I've always heard tell of it.
Yeah,
for sure.
My brother took me out there when I was young when he had a car, and he was the kind of guy that always drove his car on a quarter tank of gas, no matter if he had to go to Galesburg or Texas.
Really flirting with the devil
And,
there. Huh?
Yeah, and so we were out there, and it was late at night, and it's out in the middle of nowhere, really. And he had less than a quarter tank, and he was like, "Oh man, we're gonna run out of gas. There's not a gas station in sight." And I thought for sure we were gonna get stuck there.
It's local lore. It's surrounding Stone Church kind of incorporates with the mental hospital, right, in some way, or not? Or is it separate?
I thought that was Bartonville, but Stone Church I thought was out by like Farmington, like kind of out in that
Oh, see, to me, all that
Boonswallow.
local lore was always bunched together. So I guess I assumed that they were always like one thing or connected somehow. But I could be way off.
What do you think of that Disney Plus? That's kind of lame.
I got it.
It's kind of lame.
I have unlimited text and info here or data for Verizon, so I get a year.
That's how I got it.
I like it.
I was not impressed by the choices. There wasn't that much stuff there.
You don't think so?
No.
Here's the thing. I think they're pulling a Netflix to where Netflix is not a studio. They do create their own content, but Netflix has all these like little like licenses and contracts to pull in other people's stuff,
Sure.
so they can show it. And but Disney is not like that. It's a different beast where they own so much shit.
Right.
To me, it's like just put all of your shit out there.
Right.
But maybe they're doing a thing where like they just give you a little bit of this, and then like in 6 months we're gonna take some of that away, and we'll give you something else just to keep you interested.
I would think that would be like when I heard about Disney Plus, I'm like, oh, remember that we used to watch the pilots like Fuzz Bucket that were on that Disney like Sunday special.
Was Fuzz Bucket on there?
No, I didn't find it.
No.
You don't have to search anything. You can find it all in 3 clicks of the damn thing. Do you find anything?
Not really.
Let's just move along.
What is that thing? You'd think that the Church of Satan would be more accessible. Like, what's a great way to grow your church by not having a phone
website?
Number? Yeah. Well, there's a website, but there's no phone numbers there.
They probably don't want prank calls.
Well,
They
I
want
mean-
only serious
Inquiries.
inquiries.
But is this a prank call?
No.
I think we want real information about the Church of Satan. What do you know about the Church of Satan?
Well, I know that I don't necessarily. I think the real like Church of Satan isn't like. I mean, they're not like ripping the heads off of sheep and sacrificing virgins. I think they just believe in the self. As you know what I mean.
I think you're absolutely
Yeah.
right because there's a difference between devil worship and Church of Satan.
Right.
You're right though. I think
What's that guy that had the book, the Church of Satan book? He was
Anton
bald.
LaVey or something like that.
Yeah,
I think he's the founder of it.
Yeah, I think it's just. I don't know a whole lot, but I'm thinking it's just like basically just like live for yourself.
And like nature is king, and
Sure.
like yourself. But why all the evil imagery?
Well, just like a lot of metal bands back in the 80s and 90s, you know what I mean? They used demonic imagery, like Ronnie James Dio. He wrote his name Dio. If you turn it upside down, it said devil, and that was just like propaganda.
I know, but like, isn't that below a church or some kind of serious religion?
No, I think
to you because you're absolutely right. It seems like all the negative and evil imagery is saying death metal, black metal. It attracts youth. It attracts people. But like, shouldn't a institution like that be above silly imagery and just like here's our message? Shouldn't the message be the key?
But don't you think the Christian, the Christian, what do you call it? Symmetry?
Jesus Town?
What do you call it? Symmetry? What do you call it?
Inquiries?
Bababooey.
Main vein.
There's a lot of stuff. The imagery. That's what I was.
Imagery. I'm sorry.
Imagery. There's a lot of that kind of imagery. It's like there's a naked lady with like 3 naked babies and like I mean, it's just weird stuff too.
I don't know. I've never been attracted to the negative and evil imagery. But if your message is clear and positive, and you
right, but you're not looking for clear and positive people. You're looking for people that are shutaways. They're depressed. They feel like outsiders.
You think that's what they're looking for?
That's what they're looking for.
Okay.
Yeah.
You may know about more about this.
Those are the kind of people that are going to be more apt to sell their soul than.
What would you sell?
somebody like-
What would you sell your soul for?
I believe this has come up before. I think this has come up before. $180, I think.
Oh, just straight cash value, not like fame or some sort of notoriety, power. It's,
I just think
it's strictly cash
No,
value.
if I get that $180, just imagine what I'm going to do with it. Next thing you know,
It'll make you pretty powerful.
I'll be in the upper thirds of the lower class, and I'll just spit out on everybody below me.
Yeah, you'll be on the cusp of middle class. Boy, isn't that where you want to be?
Right.
All right, well, today we discussed the pilot episode of Poor Devil from the year of our Lord 1900 at only 73. Now, that was a great year.
Great year. I was -2.
Yeah, I was -8.
Yeah, so, I mean...
That's why we're doing all this devil talk. right?
Right.
I called you my little devil up front. We talked about the devil and the angel. And there's a film to cinema today. We're talking about the devil.
Yeah, the poor devil.
Yeah, about Beelzebub himself.
When you saw this title and it said "Poor Devil," were you thinking devil had no money, or I feel bad for the devil, poor guy?
I thought it was going to be a guy painted red head to toe, not
With
unlike,
little horns and a mustache.
no shirt, maybe like a tuft of hair.
Okay.
Maybe like hooven feet. And then, like, his pockets turned outside to show that he has no money.
Right.
I thought we were going to watch 73 minutes of just a lot of clapping on the ground with the hooves and like maybe like little flies or dust coming out of the pockets. That's what I thought.
There's some biblical story or something about how Satan wanted to, it was something about hooves. We were talking about hooves, and it was about when somebody gives you a horseshoe, it's lucky.
Okay.
Have you heard this? How this came to be?
No.
Okay, so supposedly, like, there was this famous or like this really great blacksmith. Okay.
All right.
And the devil obviously has hooves. Like, he wanted shoes put on his hooves because they were cracking and breaking. From all the heat and staying on his feet all the time.
Sure.
And so this blacksmith guy, of course, loved Jesus, and so he put him in the fire, got him really, really hot, and then really quickly put him on Satan's hooves, and the pain was so immense that the devil ripped him off, and then that's how horseshoes became lucky.
Why is that? What is lucky about that?
Because the devil was like it was like a crucifix. You know what I mean?
Because the devil didn't like it.
It hurt so bad, and he would never go near him again. He would never wear them.
Awesome!
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, I heard it somewhere.
Huh. Would you like to have hooven feet?
No.
They're like fingernails, right?
Sure.
Just like real thick, tough fingernails.
Right. Nah.
I wouldn't mind it.
You wouldn't be able to pick anything up. How you gonna jerk off? You got a two-hoof jerk?
On your feet? You jerk off with your feet?
Hey, let's not talk about what I got going on.
Oh, boy, I tell you what.
Hey, 3 times in 3 months, you do what you got to do.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I wouldn't want hooven feet either if I was trying to jerk off as much as you. 1973, long time ago. It's not right now.
47 years ago?
Oh, my God, so long ago.
Something like that?
Yeah. We're going to talk about this pilot that happened in 1973, but to properly digest all the information I'm about to give you and all the information about the pilot and the summary of the pilot and the plot, we have to go back to 1973 in our minds.
Because we can't look at this pilot and judge it based on today, 2019.
We both know that we can do that.
Right, but it's not fair.
It's not fair.
And that's one of the things we've always said about this show is when we rate them, we're going to be fair. And we are doing it right now.
We're fair and balanced. We cannot be bought.
Right. In 1973, who'd ever heard of a Band-Aid, right?
I wasn't alive back then, so I have to take your word for it.
Nobody had ever heard of My Little Pony.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, again, it wasn't alive. I assumed they weren't around then.
And nobody ever had hoof and mouth disease.
Mm-hmm.
So,
now, what does that mean? Is that saying that I am so flexible that I can put my feet in my mouth?
No, that's when what people or animals get infections on their either hands or feet, and like babies will put their feet in their mouths.
I feel like I just said that. Didn't I say that? That we could put our feet in our mouth?
Well, not just feet and hands too. Just it's like you poop on your hands, you get hoof and mouth disease.
I've never pooped on my hands. Have you pooped on your hands?
I don't know.
Before?
Every time we do this show, you try to make yourself better than me.
Because I don't poop on my hands?
Well, it happens once in a while.
Let's talk about
you
some things.
You pooped on your hand before.
Okay.
You might not.
Okay.
You might not have put it in your mouth.
All
but you
right.
have put it.
I've done it. Is that what you want to hear?
Yes, that's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah!
Look, here's some things that did happen that year. December 16th, O.J. Simpson of the Buffalo Bills became the first running back to rush for 2,000 yards in a pro football season. Now, there is a man that, while growing up, I tried to emulate personally.
Sure.
I really liked him. Not so much his athletic career, but like how he lived as a man.
Sure.
That's what I really liked about him. To this day.
Oh, yeah, he's a great guy. I mean, he's an author. Mm-hmm. He's on Twitter.
He has the elusive, like, that's one of my, what is the thing you can't get? Like a golden something, you know?
Holy Grail?
Sure, we'll say that. It's a holy grail of a pilot. Did you know he did a pilot?
What's a pilot? Sorry. No, it's too late. It's
What's a pilot? Well, you know the shows on TV?
yeah.
Do you watch TV?
No.
Yes, but you are aware that there's an invention called television, right?
Yeah. What's a pilot?
It's so he did one where it's like it's like a sketch, or not a sketch, but it's a prank show.
Really?
You never heard of this? It's called Juiced.
Wow.
And anyone out there that can find that, won't you please
Let us know at couchpilotspod@gmail.com.
Yeah, do that, please.
Or is it Couch Pilots Podcast?
I think it's podcast.
Okay. couchpilotspodcast@gmail.com.
There is an email address out there, Couch
We
Pilots
haven't used
Pod,
it in so long.
that is getting a lot of our email, I think.
Maybe that's why we're not getting any. I keep saying the wrong thing.
But that's what I want to do. Because to me, it's like, this is like 2006 or so. So like,
Oh, wow.
So maybe like, 10 years removed from his horrible murder.
He's not dead.
What? No, from the murder he committed on his ex-wife and a waiter.
Oh, the 2 murders he committed.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well,
I don't really count Ron Goldman as a murder.
He didn't do it, but if he would have, he wrote a book on
He should write a book on how he did
how
it.
he would do it.
Can you imagine the fucking balls on that man to write a book if I did it? Can you imagine the fucking balls on a guy like that?
The paycheck that you're so desperate for, like you're so desperate for a paycheck because of this.
I wonder who published that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, to me, it would be like
we should write one our memoirs and it'd be called if we would have flown the plane.
right, like we didn't do it,
Right. We've done it over 210 times.
except no one would pay us for it. I just can't imagine being in a situation where I was kind of freaking out because I didn't know I was being pranked, and then the person to jump out from behind a bush and yell, "Hey, you've been juiced." First of all, I'd be like, "What the fuck is being juiced?" And I'd be like, "Holy shit, that's that murderer O.J. Simpson."
Right.
So to me, that would be a terrifying experience, but one that I would love to witness on in some sort of digital format.
I think I'd watch it more than Punked with Leo DiCaprio.
Yeah, Leo. I heard Leo was bringing that show back. Did you hear that?
Well, he got nothing else to do. His show The Ranch got canceled.
Oh, did it get canceled?
Yeah.
Aw. Was Sam Elliott's mustache getting out of control?
Yeah, it was getting way too long.
They're like, you got to trim it. He's like, I'm not trimming it. He's like,
Yeah.
hey, you're canceled.
He's like, I had the same way when I was in Mask as I do now.
Mm-hmm. Love Mask. That
He
Eric
had
Stoltz.
he kissed Cher, but then he had to be on the set with that freaky looking guy.
That was just Eric Stoltz with a prosthetic.
Oh, that was just an actor with. It was all fake.
I think that I can't remember the guy's name. Danny Runny. I can't remember the kid's name, but it was a real guy, but not on set. That was just an actor.
Oh,
Eric Stoltz, the one-time star of
it was
Back to the Future.
Based upon a true story.
Correct.
But an actor played him.
You got it right.
Okay.
You got it.
I'm
Exactly
gonna write that in the show notes.
Let's see here. Gay rights on December 15th. The American Psychiatric Association removes homosexuality from its DSM-11, which means it's no longer a mental disease.
Yeah, that's great. One step. It should have never been, but I mean, we didn't know that back then. We didn't even have My Little Pony.
That's true. But do you think any kind of homosexuality or any of that kind of stuff is a mental disease at all?
I think pedophilia is.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't asking that, but yeah, that's fine.
Well, you said any of those kind of things, like bestiality to me.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah. I don't think you just are born liking to fuck.
But you're not saying bestiality is wrong, though, are you?
An animal can't give consent.
But sometimes it looks like a dog is smiling.
When their head is upside down. That was a good joke.
Okay.
Good show title.
We'll edit that part out, I think. Make note of, if you're writing shit down, make note of the timestamp there. Okay. We'll edit that out. December 25th, the movie premiere of Sting, The Sting, starring Robert Redford and Paul Newman, is held in Manhattan. And December 26th, the movie premiere of The Exorcist, starring Ellen Burstyn and Linda Blair, is open in the United States.
I've seen The Exorcist. I haven't seen the one with Paul Newman and Ricky Rackman.
Mm-hmm. Now, how did you get Ricky Rackman from Robert Redford? Was it the 2 R's?
Yeah.
Do
you remember Ricky Rackman?
Yeah, he was the one-time host of
Headbangers Ball.
And he was also a co-host, I think, on Loveline for a little while, and K-Rock, and that ties into next week's pilot for sure.
Okay, I'll make another Ricky Rackman joke next week.
All right. You got a lot of Rackman material?
I got racks of it.
You got five 5 minutes of rack. Why did we choose to watch Poor Devil?
There's 3 simple criteria. A, it was a pilot that never went to series. Whether it aired or not is irrelevant.
What's a pilot?
It's a show that they make, and they show people, and based on that, they decide if it's cool. And if it ain't cool, they don't make it no more. Number 2 is we had to find it on the interwebs. Number 3, baby, it had to be free. Are you just now noticing that stuff?
No.
Do you like it or no?
I know you put some stuff on the ceiling of the cockpit, but I what I did not know is that there is some sort of like index card that I wrote on, because I recognize my handwriting, and it's to Heather.
Sure, it was from episode 200. There's a lot of stuff up there. There's a mystery tag up there, I think, from 200. There's show notes and autograph from episode 68 when we did it. I went and did it in Pennsylvania with BJ and Coley for the first time.
For their first Chrissy Fest?
Yeah, there was a bunch of stuff that was just in a box. And
why?
Why not just fucking do something with it?
What you need to do is cover these walls entirely in glass, and then put those behind the glass.
Yeah.
I'll get you some glass sheets. You
For my bed?
You laugh, but I have glass sheets. I've got flat sheets, glass fitted sheets, whatever you need. You can find the entire episode of Poor Devil by subscribing to Couch Pilots in SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then simply click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes, or go to YouTube. Blake.
You know what to do to, baby.
Baby!
Flight attendants, prepare for takeoff,
I
please.
feel like I've been pretty even-keeled lately.
Yeah, but there hasn't been too much screaming. The screams heard all the way to Australia.
I like screaming, but there's been no reason to scream lately.
See if we can take care of that.
Summary of the pilot. A young, down-on-his-luck resident of hell is given a chance to redeem himself by signing up a down-on-his-luck retail accountant to sell his soul to Lucifer.
B+.
I gotta go C- on this one.
Okay.
I don't grade them all the time, but like, it's one sentence. Do not put down on your luck twice in one sentence, and do not call Sammy Davis Jr. in the early 70s young. How old is he then? Probably mid-40s, late 50s?
Was that before the glass eye, though? Because I would consider that young if it's before the glass eye.
How did he lose his eye? Do you know?
I think it was like a mob thing. Like he got in trouble with the mob.
For being black? For being the only black?
Well, no, because he was friends with Sammy Davis Jr. I mean, he was friends with...
he owned a mirror.
He was friends with Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin, and they were all mob connected. So I think that it was something about dating a white woman.
This is what I don't understand. Wow, you got your
No,
eye stabbed out for dating a white lady?
I think so.
Well, while you're looking that up, listen to me real quick. I think the worst thing to be when you're in the mafia is a rat.
Okay.
Yet these connected entertainers are called the Rat Pack. What the fuck does that mean?
Maybe there is rats from the mafia meeting in your garage.
That seems nonsensical. I don't mean to deny your premise, but we're talking about 50, 60 year time difference here. My guess would be that I bet everyone in the Rat Pack were serious. They were not entertainers. They were all in the mob heavily, and each of them became rats somehow. And they said, "You know what, you fucking dirty rats! I'm going to put a bullet in your brain."
You dirty rats!
Yeah.
You kill my brother.
They're going to put them all together, and they say, "You better start singing and dancing and making the mob $1 million trillion, or we're going to kill you."
Sammy Davis Jr., he lost his eye in a car accident on November 19th, 1954.
Because of a white lady.
Sammy Davis Jr. was driving a white woman home. An automobile, in the early mornings, his Cadillac collided with an automobile that backed out in front of him. He sustained massive injuries to his face, including a broken nose, and a damage to his left eye so severe that it had to be replaced with a plastic one.
1954?
Yeah, there's a picture of him with a bunch of white ladies.
So this is probably like 1954.
Do you think he was banging this girl?
100%. What are you talking about? He's running with fucking Dean Martin and Bill Pullman. What's that guy's name? Dean Martin. Who are the
Oh, it's the fourth one that nobody remembers.
Don Rickles.
No, I know who you're talking about.
Don Rickles isn't it?
No.
Yeah, he was. He was ancillary.
What? What is ancillary?
Adjoining
Adjoined to?
with antlers. You got to look up members of the Jack Pack now?
Yeah, because I know it's the guy. It's the least well-known guy.
He's the guy that does this. Oh, what's that fucker's name? You'll say it out loud and I'll get it. While you're looking that up, I'm going to do a little number that goes something like this.
Frank Sinatra.
No, that's not right at all.
Dean Martin.
No.
Sammy Davis Jr.
Yep, that's it.
Joey Bishop.
Okay, he's one.
And Peter Lawford.
Oh, no, okay. So
but it was Joey Bishop, so you're thinking of.
Who's the guy who sang...
When the moon hits the sky like a big pizza.
The Christmas song with David Bowie.
Michael Bublé?
Is that what you really think it is?
I don't know. I don't listen to Christmas music.
I'm gonna find out what it is right now, and it's really gonna bother me. But until then, interesting facts.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Interesting Facts. This is the segment of the show that Jason scours the internet to find out facts that you may not know about this pilot. Please don't share your opinions of these facts with anybody. Not your brother, your mother, your sister, or your lover. Keep them to yourself. Don't taint somebody else's experience. Sit back and enjoy. Thank you very much. Proceed.
You don't know what hard times are, Daddy.
Bing Crosby is what I was thinking of. I thought Bing Crosby was part of the Rat Pack.
No, I think he was mob connected, but he wasn't a member of the Brat Pack.
The Brat Pack. You got Emilio Estevez, Charlie
Tom
Sheen.
Cruise.
You got Tom Cruise
And the redhead girl.
Molly Ringwald.
Yeah, and,
right.
And then
Judd Nelson
and Sissy Spacek.
Sissy Spacek and Bing Crosby. He's their senior by like 35 years.
Well, every group needs a leader.
Interesting facts. Poor Devil, 1973, was an NBC television film that served as an unsold pilot of a comedy series. The film was first broadcast on NBC on February 14th, 1973, Valentine's Day. Fact. Stars Sammy Davis Jr. as Sammy, Christopher Lee as the Devil, Jack Klugman as Bernie Emerson,
Yep.
and Adam West as Mr. Crawford. That's right. Fact. When the Church of Satan heard about the show, and they thought it was a great idea, and had the idea to present Sammy Davis Jr. with an honorary membership at the Circle Star Theater in April of 1973, which he accepted, and then dove in much deeper and became actively involved with the Church of Satan for years.
Are you kidding me?
Sammy and the Church of Satan would have never crossed paths if it wasn't for this episode. Fact. Interesting facts over. Go ahead.
That's amazing. That is so crazy that you found that.
Isn't that wild? There's different
That's
accounts.
wild stuff, baby.
Weird, wild. There's a lot of speculation though. When Sammy Davis Jr. and the church collided. Some say it's after the pilot. Like, oh, we like this pilot about our Lord and Savior.
And some
the
say
devil.
it was before, and that's how he got the job.
Right, right. So there are different accounts there, but the fact that I chose to go with was the one that I already said, in which I will not repeat again. Twitter responses.
Twitter responses. The devil's coming to get you with some Twitter responses.
That one even got me because I was looking down it. I think Dee Dee ran off the road on that one.
No Twitter responses. Everyone's dead from this. It is weird to think that everyone is dead, but it's true. Every single last one.
That's why you shouldn't follow Satan.
That's right. Yeah. So you'll have eternal life with Jesus Christ Almighty.
Amen.
Amen. And also with you. Aviation question of the day. The massive 4-engine double-decker Airbus A380, or the A380, is the world's largest passenger plane. How many passenger seats does it have?
312.
312. That's exactly right. Yes. Very good. Congratulations.
I passed that test with flying colors, baby.
Matt is definitely interrupting the show here by saying he needs your address. So I have it. Go ahead and keep talking while I send that shit to him.
Do we go ahead and start the clock?
Yeah, go ahead and start it up.
All right.
Start it up.
All right. So we start off with some funky music. You know, it's like the Shaft music. The 70s. It's real dark, and we see a guy hanging out in his car. and we don't really know much about it. So they're in the city, and it was dark out, so I couldn't tell if it was San Francisco or New York or Buenos Aires. And so then the camera starts to follow this car because this guy drives away in this car, and he goes into an alley, and he gets out the old-time claw hooks like your G.I. Joe guy had.
Grappling hook.
Grappling hooks.
Like he's fucking Adam West as Batman.
Oh, that's a good analogy. Good job.
Thank you, Daddy.
Welcome back. So he's trying to get into a window with this, and he throws it up, and it cracks, and it falls down and cracks on his roof of his car. Then he's not very good at being a burglar. No,
and whatever's happening there is shown on a closed circuit television, apparently in hell. And in hell there are PA announcements. And it's also kind of like an office setting. Hell has, which makes sense because I work in an office and I consider it to be a little bit of a hell.
Well, and to be honest with you, how would I describe it? I would describe it as a set from Laugh-In,
right?
Star Trek, and then hell.
Really,
those three together.
A set from Laugh-In, huh?
Yeah, because they were all wearing that 70s garb.
Oh my god, the collars were so big.
It was
weren't they?
Orange and red and yellows. And the receptionist,
Chelsea is her name.
Yes, Chelsea Lately was in this. And right off the bat, I noticed my first pentagram of the show.
Yeah, they really don't shy away from the devil imagery here. They kind of are all in, which makes sense. I think this is the time of Black Sabbath and the appearance of death metal. Maybe the show is saying, hey, we can capitalize on this. Not for me to speculate at this point.
Do you remember that Black Sabbath song? Fairies wear boots and you gotta believe me.
Oh, no, I don't know that one.
All right.
But anyway, Chelsea's there. She calls Sammy, who's in the furnace room, and this is Sammy.
He's
Davis
just shoveling
Jr.
coal.
Yeah, Sammy Davis Jr. has got to be 5'4". He's got to be 110 pounds, soaking wet, right? He's a tiny guy. He's down there shoveling coal, and Sammy, he says, "Hey, that guy on the TV there that you're watching, he's a prospect, and I'm going to go up to that lobby."
Yeah, and she's like, "You can do this, And this is where you find out, he tries to do contracts for people's soul. He's like a salesman.
I feel like a lot of people are probably doing that down there.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what he was doing.
Yeah.
That's what and he was no good at it. There we made some Mayflower jokes and some other ones that were just there was no laugh track in this, thank God.
Oh, no kidding, thank God.
And I didn't feel like there was any punchy jokes, really. There was some smooth kind of funny things, but nothing no punchiness.
There was nothing where they said something and looked at the camera and is it a should we do this? I don't know.
But he's desperate. This guy is desperate for some reason, and Sammy's been watching him. He wants to get back into the good graces with the devil, and he wants to try to get this guy's soul.
So he goes and he's this guy's desperate enough to do it. He's a good prospect. Let me go talk to this Satan himself, devil. Beelzebub, but the guy who's his receptionist kind of gets in his way. He finally outsmarts him. He gets in there, and he says, it's Christopher Lee, like I said, as the devil. He's I need to ask you for permission to do this. And so they're watching. They go back and look at the monitor and watch.
And he's just messing things up.
It looks like he was had sticks of dynamite.
Yeah, that he rubber band to. It wasn't even look like a safe. It just looked like a filing cabinet.
Yeah. And I was who is it? We don't know this guy.
Yeah, we don't know who it is yet.
Is he going to blow up a safe and get a bunch of money?
Right. We don't know.
But he regrets lighting the fuse, cuts it off at the last second, and then he's busted by a security guard. And the security guard's hey, Mr. Emerson. So he works there.
Yeah, he's worked there for 25 years. He just recently had a promotion. And
no, he did not have a promotion.
He was up for. He should have been. It was his 25th anniversary.
Jack Klugman is an old guy here. He's probably 50, 55.
Yeah, but he's good, though.
No, he's good, but I'm just saying, he was a junior accountant at 50, 55.
Right. And his 25th anniversary came and went, and nobody did anything. No watch, no promotion or anything. And he wants revenge. And that's what Sammy's going to use as his selling point. And
the devil's you know what? There's something to this. But I got to think about whether or not, Sammy, you get the gig or not.
Right.
And so then Emerson, we find out his name is Bernie. I kept hearing Vern and Vernie, but it turned out it was Bernard or something.
Yeah. Bernie, yeah.
And so he gets home at about 11:30 a.m. He heads to bed.
His wife is a lot younger and a lot hotter, in my opinion.
She's a beautiful woman. And you know what? Sometimes they throw wives in this that are kind of shitty or naggy. She's a great lady.
She was so great that a few minutes later, when Sammy and Bernie are out in Bernie's living room, it's like he got home at 1 o'clock. So this is probably 1:30, 1:45. Opens the door, is like, oh, I didn't know we had company.
Super pleasant lady, great.
You think my wife would do that if she came out of the hallway?
I don't want to comment on that necessarily.
All right.
Sammy gets the job, and so they monitor Emerson, and Emerson's laying in bed with his wife asleep. He's like, oh my Christ Almighty, I would sell my soul for revenge on this company.
Boing, bingo. That's all I needed.
So Sammy appears in Emerson's bed.
And they're whispering. They're like, you shouldn't be in my bed. It's
Emerson is super cool about a dude.
a black dude in the 70s.
Look, am I cool with a white dude appearing in my bed? Absolutely. A black dude?
Right.
In the 1970s?
With a plastic eye? No way, man.
That'd be great if he flicked his eye a couple times. So he says, hey, my name is Sammy. I'm with the devil. And he says, why don't you meet me in the living room? So he does. And Sammy's like, hey, there's a 7-year contract here. After which you would die if you do this contract.
And we get your soul.
And we'll give you everything you want. It'd be the best 7 fucking years in your life. It'd be fantastic. Everything you want. And Bernie's like,
I can't do that.
And
I can't do that.
Lucifer is still, he's watching everything. He's looking on. And even then, he's kind of hopeful. He's like, they never go the first pass.
Yeah, he's like, he reminds me of me when I was young.
Yeah.
Which I was like, what?
The next scene, Bernie's on his way to work, and Sammy meets him outside, and he continues to work on him. And this is where I first noticed all the hills and shit.
Yeah, I realized it's San Francisco because there was trolley cars.
Yep.
At the beginning, I thought it was the Golden Gate Bridge, but it was dark. And
I thought the same.
Every bridge looks the same at night.
You're absolutely right. At work, Mr. Crawford, played by TV's Batman Adam West, he wants to see Bernie.
Adam West.
And he says, that's not bad, actually. He says, I want to see all the numbers, sales numbers for the whole year up to the 23rd. Because the 24th is the last day we're open for Christmas. That's our biggest day. I want to see what kind of numbers we do.
But Mr. Crawford, that's only 24 hours.
That's fine. You can do it. I believe in you. You can do it. You can work late if you have to. I can't do it because I got to go do some Christmas shopping.
Right.
AKA, fuck.
Super asshole.
Yeah.
So,
Sammy shows up here, too.
yeah. And he's like, that guy's a dick. I like the Sammy was like, I don't like that guy either.
This is great for Sammy, though, because he's like, here's another angle that I can work. Because this is information I have now. I was like, why don't we get you to get revenge on this asshole? And Bertie's still like,
So he's talking him up for like 3 hours on the way home when this guy has so much work to do, but he's just riding around a trolley car for 3 hours. So they sneak up to the apartment because he wants to just go to bed, doesn't want to wake his wife up, opens up, and then he sees his wife kissing somebody.
Not somebody. We know we recognize who this is.
Right, we do. It's Mr. Crawford.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It's Mr. Crawford.
But they don't see that Bernie sees them, and Bernie immediately leaves.
Shuts the door. He's like, 10 years. Was it 10 years of marriage? Or
I thought it was like 20.
20 years of marriage.
I think it was 20.
Yeah, 20 years of marriage down the drain.
He married her when she was like 8.
Yeah, I'm going to kill myself. And Sammy's like, no, don't kill yourself.
That's going to fuck everything up for me. Don't kill yourself. Right. So after Bernie leaves, he goes back into the living room where they're making out, and his wife slaps Crawford. And she's like, hey, what are you doing? Why? I invited you to talk about my husband's raise, not to fucking make a pass at me.
Right. And he's like, you're making a big mistake.
Yeah, you're with a real loser. You could be with me. So he leaves. And then outside, Emerson goes and he lays down on the cable car track, one of those trolley tracks, and he's trying to kill himself.
Do they go that? I've never been to San Francisco. Do they go that fast that they're going to run him over and kill him?
I feel like it would. I think even if it went really slow, anything that big would run over you and kill you.
I guess whenever I think of a trolley car in San Francisco, I think of like those beer crawl trolley things where people have to pedal.
Oh yeah, yeah. That would just that would be you get badly bruised.
You might lose an eye, maybe. That's at the most.
So Sammy tries to talk him out of it, and he finally convinces him. He says, "Hey, you know what? There's the promise of revenge on Crawford. Don't kill yourself." He's like, "You're right. I shouldn't kill myself." So then Sammy proudly presents the devil with a signed contract, right?
Yeah. Well, first he forgets the pen. He has to go back down to hell.
And to hell. So Lucifer assigns Sammy to Bernie, and he said, like, you're going to help him every step. Because he thought, I do the contract. Awesome. I'm moving on to the next
bada
thing.
boom, realest guy in the room.
Lucifer says, no, you got him to sign a contract. Now you're going to stick with him for these 7 years and make sure everything that he needs to fulfill the end of the contract.
Right.
This is a very, like, for me, if I'm thinking about making a deal with the devil, you assign something, and then the guy disappears, and things happen that are good, but I don't feel like I could void the contract at any time.
Right.
I feel like when you sign something with the devil, from every Warner Brother cartoon I've ever seen anyway, that it's ironclad and that you're in for it. That's it. You're done.
There's never been an out before.
But they say there's a lot of ways you can get out of this.
And if Sammy doesn't do every one of Bernie's biddings, then the contract is null and void.
So essentially, Black Sammy Davis Jr. is a slave at this point.
And I would, if I was Bernie, for like the first 6 years, I'd shut my mouth and I would just get all this stuff. And on that 7th year, the last 365 days, every day trying to
trick him,
to get him out of that.
So later that night, Bernie's at home and he needs Sammy's help. He says, you know what I want to do for revenge? I want to rob the store that I work at, where I'm a junior accountant. I want to rob it of every single last piece of merchandise to fuck them.
Yeah, I don't want their money, because anybody can do that.
Yeah.
I want to really hit them where it hurts, because if they steal the money, they got insurance.
And Sammy's like, man,
it's a fourth floor department store.
Yeah, this is tough, but I got to do it because I don't want to void the contract. So he recruits a bunch of people for the heist, including Al Capone. The younger gang, which I'm not familiar with them.
He recruited them for ideas on how to pull it off.
Right.
Black Sparrow,
Blackbeard the Pirate Sparrow,
and Bonnie and Clyde.
Yep, and they all give him suggestions. But the Bonnie was a cute lady.
Yeah,
she kept like belting off a poem or something.
Right, and everybody was wanting to shoot her and stuff.
So Bernie shows up at the store,
and
he's late, and Sammy's got an army of people. This is something confusing to me. There's a big musical montage of them cleaning the store out, but Bernie sees his father-in-law there, and he says, but he doesn't mention that his father-in-law is dead. So are the people helping him alive?
Oh, they're all people. Yeah, they're alive. But they're under contract.
How are they? They're under contract to help the devil?
Yeah, well, yeah.
If they have the same contract that Bernie has, shouldn't those people be making demands of demons rather than helping them? This is the thing that confused me. I thought he had just enlisted help from the dead.
No, I think it's one of those things where he's like, okay, all these people they have under contract, and they're like, hey, you guys, we're helping you out all the time. We need somebody to lend us a hand.
Do you think it's just an ask, and they got it from these people?
Yeah.
Okay. So his father-in-law has made a deal
right.
with
He's
the
like,
devil
oh,
as well.
he goes, that makes sense why that guy's so fucking rich and
he's got a new car every year.
One of my favorite parts right around here is they're going upstairs to the roof. And I know that because there's upstairs and there's a sign that says
roof.
To roof.
With an arrow.
To roof.
So all the stuff that they're stealing from the store is going on a helicopter on the roof, and it's going to be dropped off at Alcatraz, another telltale sign that they're in San Francisco.
This is what they're going to do. Let me make sure everybody understands. They're going to have a helicopter, not a military helicopter, just a regular, eye in the sky news helicopter, and they're going to completely wipe out 4 floors of
doesn't seem like a smart idea.
Furniture, of shopping center,
yeah.
And then get it over to Alcatraz all within one night.
Nah, that's a Herculean task if you ask me. That's
right.
Santa Claus visiting every child in one day.
He doesn't?
No, he totally does. I'm sorry, I was thinking of something different. In the jewelry department, they're like, "This is the last place we got to clean out." Sammy presents Bernie with a watch for his service for work. It's a sweet moment because he wasn't recognized at his work,
right?
And here Sammy is saying, "We talked about this. I know this means a lot to you. You take this watch."
And I knew when that happened that was part of. There was a reason why they put that in there.
I did not.
Really? No, I knew that. I didn't know what it was, but I was like, this seems kind of significant to halt this heist for this little.
You're right.
Interaction.
In retrospect, you're absolutely right. It should have been more apparent to me, but it wasn't at the time. Still at the store, the robbery is complete. They pull it off. Bernie is sitting there and he's miserable. He's worried about the consequences of the robbery.
Yeah, he's thinking about it now. He was thinking about getting back at Mr. Crawford and the company, but what he didn't think about is all the people that wouldn't be able to get Christmas presents, all the employees who wouldn't have jobs, right? At the worst time of year to lose your job.
Put it all back. Put all of it back.
But Bernie, how am I going to do that?
Mr. Crawford sees this. Yeah, they do, and they're like, fine. Well, we'll try it. And so then Mr. Crawford shows up at the store, and he sees that everything is gone.
Right. So he goes to he'd been to the the big head honcho's house drinking.
He was hanging out there, yeah.
And so he goes to the
police.
Policier. And he's like, hey, there's a whole shot. They're like, you're drunk. He's like, God, this is the biggest heist of the year. And they're sitting there, and he's like, you've been drinking. Give me a sobriety test. Give me a balloon to blow up. And I didn't understand that. It was the weirdest thing.
I honestly fell asleep at this part, but I did catch that. But I was very tired.
How could you fall asleep when Adam West is on the television?
That's
good.
Matt is here if you want to let him in.
Okay.
I'll continue here. the police, he's at the police station, and they're like, come with me to the store, and you will see that we are completely been robbed. So while they're making their way back, Bernie and his crew are feverishly putting everything back. And then Lucifer kind of helps Sammy, which is in turn helping Bernie, by causing the police to wreck their vehicle. And so while they're wrecking the vehicle, everyone, like the police and Mr. Crawford, have to exit the vehicle and run the rest of the way to the store. So he's buying them a little bit of time. Crawford and the police head in, and they see that everything there is fine, and the police take Crawford away. They're like, you're crazy, dude. You're wasting our time. This is BS. Everything looks fine here. You say everything looks fine here. You're out of here. The next morning, the store is bustling, and Bernie is cheered when he walks into the office. He has no idea why. Basically, what happened is, as Bernie's going in, they remembered his anniversary. They got him the watch.
For he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow.
That nobody can
deny.
Bernie gets the watch. Bernie gets the promotion. His wife is there.
Yeah.
And in his new office, his wife says to Bernie, she says, hey, Mr. Crawford, Mr. Crawford came over, and I talked to him about your promotion. He misconstrued things. He made a pass at me. And Bernie is over the roof. He's like, they remembered everything. The thing with my wife, which I was kind of just putting on the back burner, it's all bullshit. It's fine. Everything's good. And then he finds out, after his wife leaves, from Sammy, that Frances, his wife, will go to heaven when she dies, where
he thought she would go to hell with him.
And he does. They will not spend an eternity together, right?
Right. And so they're talking. He's like, hey, Sammy's like, I can't. I'm sorry, man. There's nothing I can do. I thought you knew. And then he looks down, and he sees his watch. Bernie still had the watch that Sammy gave him. So
Sammy feels really bad for him now.
Right. Sammy has a conscience. He's not like most devils.
He's not like
devilish people. But he's like, wait a minute. You know what, Bernie? The contract's been breached. You told me to put everything back, and I didn't. I gave you that. You're off the hook. Boom.
Sammy catches himself on a technicality. Lucifer arrives, and he's angry with Sammy. He said, you lost this one. But Bernie can't see or hear Lucifer when he's in his own office.
Right.
And then Bernie starts to tell Lucifer how great Sammy is, but Lucifer isn't listening. Instead, he gets up, and he takes Sammy back to hell.
Right, and he's going to go shovel coal for the rest of his life.
So seemingly for an eternity.
Please remain seated as we are now crossing a zone of turbulence.
Turbulence. The part of the show where we say, this didn't work. Here's us trying to find out why. Here's us ruminating on the reasons why that would be. Why didn't Poor Devil work?
We go to this. This is kind of a go-to, but this one was probably pretty expensive because there was a lot of sets that had a lot of, there was a lot of different sets.
There were a lot of sets.
There was a lot of on-location stuff. I can, and there's the costumes alone. I mean, not they weren't like costumes.
Sammy Davis Jr. is looking pretty good in some of these scenes.
Yeah, but like the devil scenes, all those costumes and stuff. There's I just think that it was probably for 1973 it was going to cost too much money.
Okay, I would say why it didn't work. My guess is as popular as like the occult. Especially with like bands like we mentioned, like Black Sabbath and like Led Zeppelin had a lot of occulty things about them. As popular as some of that is, maybe you don't want to have the devil on primetime television on a network. Yeah,
and a lot of pentagrams.
Yeah, it was
pentagram.
It was a lighthearted show. It was obviously a comedy. I don't think you're going to have a heavy-handed drama about the devil be on TV, but maybe they thought if we make it funny and have Sammy Davis Jr., who's light on his feet and a silly fella,
right?
Maybe that will fly. Maybe that's why it didn't go, though, because it was strictly about the Beelzebub.
And think about this. Is it possible that it didn't work also because Sammy wasn't singing or dancing in this? When
that's his bread and butter.
Most people would know him as a little punchy kind of comedy, but
yeah,
his singing, his
dancing, soft shoe,
his dancing, baby.
What would you do to improve this show? Would you add a musical number for Sammy to dance in?
I was torn because I didn't know if I liked it better because he didn't or I didn't like it because he did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't know which way to go on it. To make it better, maybe kind of comedy it up a little bit. Yeah. I mean, like I said, they weren't punchy jokes. They were just funny situations.
If this
funny conversations.
Okay. If this had survived, Do you see this as Sammy Davis Jr. is working exclusively with Jack Klugman week after week, or is he trying to work out different situations with different souls?
Well, and that's one of the things I wrote also about why it didn't work. They kind of like they sealed up the story. You know what I mean?
This particular story,
Right.
I mean, obviously there are different ways you could go down the line if you want,
Right,
but
if
there was nothing hanging.
Are you going to have Adam West be on all the time? No, because he's already gone crazy.
Everything is tied up here. Everything is tied up in a nice, neat bow at the end. There are certain little things that you could glom onto if you wanted to. You could, hey.
Hey.
But to me, if you're going to go forward with this, say this is an hour. This is 73 minutes total. This pilot. If you go forward with this comedy, it's a 22-minute pilot or 22-minute episodes. It is. I think you have an arc of like 2 or 3 episodes per person that he's working with.
Yeah. Kind of like a Twilight Zone kind of thing where it takes a couple of episodes.
They're not completely self-contained, but there is an arc. Maybe there's an over arc for a season with Sammy Davis Jr.
Like
and the Devil.
90210.
Just, you know what? There are so many parallels between this show and 90210. I can't
High five that shit.
But that's what I think. I think Jack Klugman is a one and done. Maybe Jack Klugman comes back later. Maybe something happens again.
I like Jack.
I like them too. You know what? I'm a Jack man.
I'm a Jack man.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we start our descent, please make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position.
Final descent. We talk about people from around the world rated and talked about Poor Devil because it is available to people. There's nothing special about you. Arguably, there's something special about me.
For sure.
But nothing special about you per se. But people can find this other than us.
Right. We didn't go into Sammy Davis Jr.'s coffin to get his VHS copy of this to watch.
Would you and I? We both know that he was buried with a copy of this VHS.
Sure. Right. I mean, it's one of the interesting facts that you didn't talk about because we were running short on time.
It's debatable, but I believe it to be true.
Is it debatable?
I don't know what that means.
Betatable?
Like Betamax?
Yeah.
That's not bad, actually.
The delivery was what fucked it up.
It was awful delivery. The joke was there.
That's what my wife says. That's why.
Oh, jeez. That's why you're one every 3 months.
No, once a month.
Oh, okay. It's gonna be. It will be once every 3 months.
You know what? To be honest, yeah,
it's coming very soon.
The weeks are adding up to where that average goes. It's like bowling.
Mm-hmm.
If you have one game where you bowl bad, your average goes down 3 or 4 points, but it takes 6 good games to get it back up.
Why?
The laws of averages. Am I right, guys?
You're absolutely right. God bless you, everyone. So you're a damn dirty liar and cheater. What do you? What was the score on IMDb?
I did not look at it. I swear to God.
Would you like to guess?
6.6.
5.4. That's from 124 ratings.
Damn.
Critic reviews. The bootleg files from filmthreat.com says Poor Devil may not have been the most representative example of Davis's versatility as an entertainer, but it offers evidence of his ability to float a minor vehicle with the sheer force of his talent. It is not deserving of the obscurity into which it fell. If anything, this devil is wickedly enjoyable.
Nice. Okay. That's a good start.
Mansura.blogspot.com says, I don't know.
I think you just threw up.
While it's, I feel sick. While it's hopelessly dated, but in a good way, and unfortunately slow in some places, I found that it still holds up. It was simple, but I enjoyed the flick.
I like that. It didn't. I was gonna say that there was a couple times where it kind of slows to a crawl.
Yeah, there were a couple parts where they just kind of like they were looking at the closed circuit television of Jack Klugman.
Yeah, that was unnecessary.
It's going on for like 10 seconds too long.
Yeah,
maybe.
just you can already see that he's a bumbling burglar.
I think that's good though, because if you tighten that up to 22 minutes,
sure,
because we're watching 73 minutes in a comedy, that's a tough thing to do.
Right,
make it 22 minutes. You could do it.
Thanks. Thanks for believing in me.
And thank you.
You know what? I'm gonna go back and edit this now, and I'm gonna cut it down. And I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see if I can get it back on.
Yeah.
Here.
Okay. That's
resell
smart.
it.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about.
The pilot. I'm gonna cut it down.
Oh, the pilot. I thought you meant this episode that we're doing right now.
No. I'm never gonna edit it. This is way too much time.
You gonna have the reanimated corpse of Sammy Davis Jr. reprise his role as Sammy?
Yeah, it's gonna be a hologram.
That's smart. It'll be him and Tupac solving crimes.
Well, it'll be a hologram except for one eye because I can't have like a plastic hologram. It has to be DNA.
I think technology has gotten to the point where we can functionally give Sammy Davis Jr. 2 eyeballs.
I wouldn't doubt it. I've seen mice with 3 ears. Maybe that's was one that got out of your garage. We had 3 like 8 legs, and so he was stronger.
It was some sort of mutant rodentia that escaped the trap.
Escaped from a lab. Mm-hmm. Like
Thankfully, that my garage is not attached to the house, so there's no worry about mice getting into my house. But still, I'm very worried about that missing 4th trap. Viewer reviews: 3 out of 10 scars. Rejected NBC comedy has some 70s kitsch value. ... Little else. 6 out of 10 scars. Poor Devil. 2. They give it a bunch of stars there. That's great. I knew I had seen this, which isn't really a pro or con. It's just saying something that is.
I had no date on Valentine's Day, so in 1973, so I saw this.
5 out of 10 scars. I'm so happy this exists. 4 out of 10 scars. Lackluster comedy pilot. And there are some more detailed things, but we won't have to get into it. It's just kind of some general
good stuff.
What people have to say about it. But what do hey, what do you have to say about it?
Well, baby, let me tell you what I say about this. I'll say.
Local time is 11:11 and the temperature is 69 degrees. For your safety and comfort, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captains turn off the fasten seatbelt sign.
Bing bong.
Bing bong. Happy birthday again,
Oh,
stewardess.
thank you. Oh, well, her too. Both of us.
In 3 days.
Mm-hmm. Well, when is her...
December 12th.
Okay, I have it on my calendar. I can't commit things to memory.
Sure.
I'm full. I'm full in here. There's no other room.
What's my name?
Big Daddy.
But it rhymes with like Lego, doesn't it? Ego.
And Fuego.
Ego, we take a look at these pilots and we grade it 1 to 7 scale based on the popular 1990s sitcom, affectionately and accurately known as Wings. 1 being the worst score you can get, and that's the character Roy Biggins. And 7, that's the best score you're going to get, and that's the character Brian Hackett. Captain Philip Restisher, I turn to you. How do you rate Poor Devil?
Sammy Davis Jr. Was very impressive as an actor on here. I saw pentagrams, which I never thought I would see on television.
TV is lacking a lot of pentagrams, if you ask me.
I took 2.5 pages of notes, and never once was I cussing at you for having it's being.
Do you do
so
that?
long.
That's the first time you've ever mentioned that. Do you cuss me a lot when you were doing these notes?
Oh, when I watch long ones, yeah, I cuss you the whole time.
Do you think if you ever
actually every other line is "God damn it, Jason! Damn it, Jason! You asshole!"
Do you think if you ever did any work for this show that you would appreciate what I do?
That's a good line. I give it a 7. I loved it.
Awesome!
I'd give it an 8 if there was a possibility to do that. I loved it. I enjoyed it.
You understand it's a perfect score.
I understand it's a perfect score. It's one of the best pilots we've watched in a long time.
I don't feel like you said enough about this. What if it were to continue, what do you want to see?
I want to see more Sammy Davis Jr., baby.
It would be different people,
I want to
though.
see more Adam West.
That was better.
It was another attempt.
Hey guys,
you agree though that there would be tiny arcs of characters that he was working.
That was one of the things I said I didn't know how it was going to go, but you had mentioned that, and so I was like, yes, 90210, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I loved it. I mean, it could have been a little bit shorter, but I had a good time watching it, and I usually don't have a good time watching an hour and 15-minute pilot from 1973.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I don't think the quality was very good.
No, I give it a 7.
Wow, that's impressive. I would say that I enjoyed it as well. Sometimes we have these pilots that are like an hour and a half. That's really a long time. This was 73 minutes, which is long, especially for a comedy. But there wasn't any real lulls in it. There were points where it was drawn out just a little bit. Like I said, with the closed circuit television, watching Emerson for a while, it took a little longer than I maybe thought was necessary. But I did like it.
Sammy Davis Jr. disappears and reappears 6 times in the living room. How can you not give that a 7?
I don't know that that's how I grade things, but I appreciate the sentiment for sure. I want to give it a 5. I'm having trouble thinking of much to complain about here. Sammy Davis Jr. was very good. He's not a super actor, but he didn't overdo it. He's very charismatic. He pops on the screen. You want to look at him. You enjoy. He's always smiling. That goes a long way for some reason with me. Jack Klugman was good. You want to cheer for Batman. You want to cheer for Batman, but he was a prick in this. You know,
he was a big prick.
I give it a 6.
Okay.
You give it a 7. And with that, we close the book on Poor Devil, and we will never speak of that show again.
Ever.
But join us next time, won't you please, when we watch the pilot episode of BIRCHUM. Here's a little something to wet your whistle. Curmudgeon high school shop teacher BIRCHUM speaks his mind, and it often gets him in trouble. You can find the entire episode of BIRCHUM by subscribing to Couch Pilots and SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then simply click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes, or go to YouTube, and you know what to do too.
If you would just put a period or a comma or something in there, you would not have to suffer so much.
Go to YouTube.
You're making yourself suffer.
Go to YouTube.
No, you go to YouTube.
Go to YouTube.
Jesus, you are going to make yourself throw up on your $17 laptop. You're going to throw up.
It's my laptop. I bought it. What would you suggest if I want to get a new laptop? Wait for Black Friday.
Huh?
Black Friday?
Oh, I don't know. I won't have that kind of money. I don't even look because I don't have that kind of money. I need a new one.
I recently deleted a lot of shit off of my laptop.
Does it make a difference?
Crossing my fingers that it would make it faster. Did it make a difference?
No.
I'd like to think that it
No,
did.
it didn't.
It's psychosomatically.
Yeah.
If you want to get a hold of the show, you can do so. We're on Facebook and Twitter. Please tell me you've deleted our Instagram.
No, it's still there.
Please. Okay.
How
about this? You tell me right now what you've done for the show lately.
I'm gonna do a secret Christmas contest on Instagram, so everybody has to stay on it.
No, you are not.
I took all these notes for one show.
You know what?
You don't have any idea how long this takes to do this many notes?
Essential to the pilot here, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, you know?
Alrighty.
Go to couchpilotspodcast.com. It's a website that exists. We're not smart enough to make things up like that. That really does exist. You can go there, and all of our shows are there, all the different ways to get a hold of us. You can call us at 910-PILOTS-1. That's 910-745-6871. At this point, not sure that it's working.
Yeah, we if anybody wants to test these.
Well, we did. Did you say testies?
Test these.
Don't
test these websites.
Don't be dirty.
No, I'm just like test these.
Dirty at the top of the show, clean at the bottom.
Oh, I actually have a story
about a clean bottom.
We don't have time for that.
Oh my god!
Damn it,
does that have something to do with your wife's dildo business?
No, it does not.
Yes, it does.
No, it does.
I
swear on.
I guarantee that the phrase "clean bottom" and a story associated with it has something to do with your wife's $1,000 dildo business.
Guarantee it doesn't.
Did you know she showed me all her dildos?
Really?
During Karaoke Biggie, I said, "Go show me all the stuff that you sell from your dirty show or your dirty whatever the Pure Romance." So she took me and Jacob up and she showed us all these dirty things.
Really?
Oh, it was awful. I couldn't stand to look at it. I had to leave halfway through the presentation. I was so disgusted.
You didn't stay for the presentation, did you? One day,
where she shows you how to use all the things.
One day,
I couldn't stand to see it.
Right before her first away, party she was doing.
Yeah,
I had to sit there through the whole spiel.
That's awfully sweet as a husband to go through that, right?
I didn't even get a free door prize or nothing.
I love
that. Huh? Oh, I love the heart. The
can
heart,
of lube.
No, the heart hand warmer. Oh, that's great. It's a massage. It's It's full of a hard gel, and it has a little silver tab in it. You kind of pop that tab. You're gonna pop that tab. In about 5 minutes, you'll have a warm pocket.
But it's something you jack off with.
No, it's just for massage. It's just a heart and.
Okay, she showed me the thing that you jerk off with.
The thing in a can.
It wasn't a can. It was you remember those things when you're little? It's like a plastic tube.
Right. Yeah, but it's actually in a can. She must have taken it.
Well, she
out
took
of
it
the
out.
Can to show you.
I didn't see the can.
Nothing does not work for shit.
Okay, thank you. Because this is what I say. If I have a thing in my hand, I'm jacking off with the thing in my hand. Why don't you just use your hand? Why do you have to have an extra thing involved? You know what I mean?
I think it's supposed to be more it's supposed to simulate a vagina or a butthole. Depends on which because if you turn it inside out, it's
there's a texture thing there. But
sure.
Who gives a shit?
I know.
If I'm just doing this,
that's why I told her.
If I'm doing this motion over and over again, whether something is in my hand or not, I'd rather have this motion right here. People can't. It's an audio format.
Oh shit.
I'm just saying it seems like a waste of money. No offense, Pure Romance. I'm sure your products are of the highest quality. Blake Clayton, do you have any clean bottom positive information you want to send out to people?
Yeah, I do have some messages of positivity. First one,
disgusting.
First, I want to say that again, thanks to all our Patreon supporters, we have made a withdrawal and we are purchasing equipment for the what's this place called? The studio. Mm-hmm. And we couldn't have done that without them. We're getting we're getting some good and quality headphones.
Thank you very much, everyone who's
some
subscribed.
mic cradles. And
Yep.
So thank you very much for that. And
You are single-handedly improving the show by subscribing to Patreon. We've decided to put the money that we got there all back into the show.
Yeah. I said, hey, do you want to split it 50-50 and we just go do some blow? And you said no.
Well, I was thinking, I was like, first of all, I'd love to get some blow. Second of all, I had like one of those little clouds over my head with like an ice cream sundae with fudge on it. And I was like, well, that sounds good too. But at the end of the day, I was like, the equipment we have sucks. So let's get some new equipment.
Right. Well, the headphones do suck for the most part.
Right.
This is not necessarily a message of positivity, but I need your help to find not the listeners, but your help, because I mean I can't do everything for the show, but I only have one. I can only find one cardboard tube to send out the autograph posters to certain people. I only have one tube, and they got to go a long way. I can't want to fold them up. Do you know where I can get like a cardboard tube?
Literally anywhere.
That's not true.
Literally anywhere. This is what you do.
Next time you go somewhere, you take a picture of where
So you go to work at like 4:15 in the morning, and you're off at like 2 o'clock. When you get home, just go on your phone and call the local post offices. Call the Kinko's FedEx and say, "Do you have tube?" I guarantee all of them have tube.
Do
there.
you have tube? Okay.
Yeah, I guarantee they all do. There's a post office in Morton right where you work. I'm sure they have.
I'm going to
there.
have them to them by Christmas. Is what my positive thought was. But
you can do it. You can. I'm not going to help you at all.
I'm
not going to assist you in any way. You can do it. You're a fucking man. Step up and buy a tube.
All right. Well, my message of positivity was 'tis the season. Be nice, fuckers. But obviously, that's out of line.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. This pilot may have been rough, but it's always a smooth flight here on Couch Pilots. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next time.
On behalf of Couch Pilots and the entire crew, we'd like to thank you for joining us on this trip, and we are looking forward to seeing you on board again in the near future. Have a nice day.